What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio Robinson YouTube channel where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. I'm not on screen right now. I'm a little bit blind, had some stuff pulled out of my eye yesterday. Don't really want to get too much into it, but I got my boy Josh Taylor on the show right now, coming to talk about Washington versus Cleveland, preseason game number 1. How you doing on this Thursday night, sir?
Doing good. We got blessed with 2 games, and it might not be the prettiest games, but we got the Texans and Patriots, and then who was it? Vikings and Seahawks right after this. Football is here, man. I tweeted it, like I legit get goosebumps. Like I was waiting on the Texans game since I'm now in Texas. Like they had a special kickoff. I was like, man, this shit got me hyped. Like I know Texans aren't that good, but I still was hyped, man. I can't wait for tomorrow.
Hell yeah, man. I'm excited to see this nonsense football too. Like the preseason, it's ugly, it's terrible.
I don't care. I love it.
80% of it is watching guys who will never see a professional football field on a Sunday, but I love it. I live for
Hey,
it.
we got Steven Sims having a Hall of Fame type game for
Yeah,
the backup Texans. So.
Steven Sims Jr., Washington legend, summertime
The
legend.
real ones know.
The real ones definitely know, man. We can call out names for days that the NFL has never heard of, but we got fans that probably have a shrine of them on their wall.
Ricky Seals-Jones just signed with the Colts.
Ricky Seals-Jones. Off season ago, you would have had fans dying at the fact that we let him go to the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Bro, like, how could we? You remember that touchdown he caught versus the Giants on Thursday Night Football? It was beautiful, man. But all right,
that's our fans, though. We do it too. I ain't gonna lie. I get caught. I thought Antonio Gandy-Golden was gonna be the next Amari Cooper, man.
AGG. We all missed on some. We all missed on some, bro. There's some. I thought Terrell Pryor and Josh Doxson were gonna be like the
Megatron 2.0,
the twin towers of NFL wide receivers, bro. Terrell Pryor's ass and Josh Doxson didn't even like football, bro. But we're going into a preseason game tomorrow, and the biggest story this week is another gaffe by our head coach, Ron Rivera. Some fans say it was not a big deal. It's only a big deal because Ron disclosed it, and we have been roasted, flambéed, and fired up for the last 48 hours on every national football show. Every show that talks about football, even shows that don't talk about football, they've talked about how soft we are. What were your thoughts on the Ron Rivera EB concerns about intensity?
I mean, dude, I had to turn off Good Morning Football. Like, luckily my girl Kay ain't on there. I would have stuck it through, but I turned that shit off this morning because that's literally all they were talking about the entire time. And they're sitting here saying, I forgot who it was. Maybe it was Peter Schrager. I can't remember. But yeah, they were just saying like, oh, like this isn't good. Like, this is the kind of culture Washington's always had. I'm like, yo, don't bring up that culture stuff again. Like, it's not a culture. It's just Ron not knowing how to put together a sentence. And like, I got roasted for it. Like I said, like when he showed up to the training camp practice, not only does he have a script, but it's like hiding behind his hat. What head coach has a script at a training camp practice, bro?
Damn piece
and
of paper.
I got so roasted on Twitter. I said, literally all I said was, Ron Rivera has a script. ... I'm done. ... And people are like, oh my God, like he can't do anything right. I'm like, this is the guy who didn't know what quarterback should start the last game of the season. Taylor Heineke had to be like, bro, why are you playing me? Play Sam. And he also didn't know we were out of the playoffs. And I get it. Like he took over a shit show. Like Ron Rivera's done a lot for us, whatever. Cool. But I'm talking about right now. And like, I'm not going to harp on it for too long because obviously like we just want to focus on football. That's all I care about. But the fact that this man created a national headline, all he had to say was like, yeah, Eric Bieniemy has a different coaching style. It took some players some getting used to. Like, it's different. Not like, man, I had guys coming to me. They are concerned. Oh my God. Like, this is like he just seemed like it was a big deal. Like Eric Bieniemy's like slapping our players or something. Like, no, this is a training camp. This isn't like some like rough, like prison. Like it's not that bad. Like y'all are grown man making millions of dollars playing football. Like just take the coaching. Obviously what we've done in the past isn't good enough. We won one playoff game pretty much since I was like born, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like, just take the coaching, man. But the biggest thing for me wasn't Eric Bieniemy. It was the way that Ron said it. Like he could have said it in such a better way to where, the national media is not going to just run with it and create some big storyline out of it. So that's what pissed me off. It's just that Ron isn't capable of talking without it being some big time thing, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's not knowing we're knocked out of the playoffs. He creates some kind of headline every now and then for no reason.
Or he could just Bill Belichick the situation and just hit him with it's not an issue. He's intense. They knew who he was when he signed up for it. Next question. Like, it could literally be like, for those that say this is a non-factor, it was overblown, like my guy in the chat said, it was a non-factor. It's the fact that Ron volunteered the information. He made it a factor. He left all of this to be said or unsaid and call into question some of his players' willingness to play for Eric Bieniemy when he could have just gave the most coach speak bullshit answer. Like, how embarrassing is it that a guy in his 13th year as a head coach has to show up to show up to a press conference with a fucking script, like
hide behind his hat,
right? Hiding behind his hat. He's reading off the apology verbatim, like a man who got caught cheating and his wife made him issue an apology for their Facebook followers or some shit. Like, this shit.
He had to go live on Facebook. No, it's rough because, like, literally all he has to say is, like, if you want to know about Eric Bieniemy's coaching style, like, talk to EB. Like, ask him, ask the players, hey, how is EB's coaching going? Like, what have you learned? Like, how do you feel about this? Not like, hey, Ron, what have you noticed about Eric Bieniemy's coaching style? And, like, has it taken some players some getting used to? Like, I'd have been like, I don't know. I'm not the one getting coached up by him. Go talk to the players. Go talk to EB. See how it's going. And I don't know. And then EB comes back with like the best response ever. Like
the greatest press conference I've ever seen.
like I legit want to get that shit quoted and like put on my, like, behind my bed, like on my wall. Like, yeah, he says the most like inspirational shit that you see in like these quotes, like motivation. Like, I have an app, like a motivation app, and I swear one day it's gonna pop up and like a quote from Eric Bieniemy. I'm like, oh shit, EB done made the motivation app. Like, he says, like, he sounds like an actual head coach. Like, if anything bad happens, this man like knows what to say, and he's not just like pulling it out of his ass either. Like, he's a genuine, real dude. Like, he's like 100% real guy.
Get you a friend, get you a coach, get you a gym partner like Eric Bieniemy, because he's gonna be on your ass.
Like fucking Channing Tatum if he was my gym partner.
Yeah, he's gonna motivate you to pick up the whole goddamn gym. He's gonna make you run through a wall for him. But he's also, when you do good things, he's gonna be the hypest one in the. He's gonna be chest bumping you, hugging you.
Oh, hell
he's
yeah!
gonna make you feel like the greatest person in the world when you accomplish real things. But there's football to be played tomorrow. Ron,
yes.
Just stick to the script from now on, man. We need to send that man out with preordained answers before he steps up to the podium. There's a preseason game tomorrow, man. How do you feel about what we've seen and heard from camp 2 weeks in your experience when you came down to Ashburn?
I mean, like, I honestly really liked what I saw. Like, people said that I was speaking way too high of Sam Howell. Like, I don't think so. Like, I saw exactly what I've been seeing out of Sam back to where he was at North Carolina with Phil Longo, really good offensive coordinator, really good offense. And then, like, all of a sudden now this week, like, the local people are like, oh yeah, Sam's actually stacking a lot of really good days on top of each other. Like, the offense is clicking. Like, I saw it like day one, in my opinion. Like, I was surprised at how well Sam was really just picking up the offense. Like, he wasn't staring down his guys too much. He was going through progressions. He didn't look lost. Like, this is a brand new, like, complete complex offense. And like what we saw in the Cowboys game, and I said this on another video, like, that was Sam Howell just freestyling. He had no fucking clue what the offense was. He didn't even know he was going to be a starting quarterback till like 3 days before the game. So that was him straight up.
Remember, he wasn't even going to start that game. Heineke had to tell Ron, what are you starting me for? Play the kid. What are you doing?
So, like, he didn't know. He probably knew, like, a fourth of the playbook. He didn't get reps for the ones. Like, the only reps he ever got was, like, in preseason and in training camp before then when once again, he looked like the best quarterback. So, like, him actually learning the offense right now, like, in my opinion, he's picking it up really well. And you saw Eric Bieniemy, like, after every drive, doesn't matter if it was good or bad, he would like walk the plays like through with them. Like, all right, this happened. What did you do? Like, why? What did you see? And it's just like thorough coaching, and he's taking it and he's making the most of it. I think he looks great. The defense looks phenomenal. We're definitely going to talk about this offensive line, though. That's my only thing. Like, I'm not concerned with Sam. Like, I'm not worried about Sam. Like, will he have growing pains? Will he throw interceptions and stuff? Probably. Like, I'm expecting it. I mean, CJ Stroud just went like, what? 1 for 4 with an interception, 13 yards.
Didn't look in his preseason. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna happen, and they have a bad offensive line right now because they're missing like 3 guys. But that's like the only actual concern of mine. It's not the linebackers. I think Cody Barton looked better than I thought he would. I think Jamin looks better, but the offensive line looks bad, and that's literally the only thing I'm concerned about, like genuinely.
Oh yeah, and we got to give the kid time. But like literally one of the few things about this team that I have no concern over, based on what I've seen and what I've heard from training camp, is Sam Howell. Sam Howell looks like the best quarterback I've seen here. No hyperbole, since Kirk. Like, he looks the part. Like,
people will give Kirk his runs. Kirk was good.
He had like Sam had like one ass practice, but every other practice he looks medium. Even when the offense isn't doing well, it isn't because he looks terrible and he's just spraying the ball all over the field.
The defense is like all over the place.
Like him stacking good days together the week that we have a preseason game, that does not surprise me at all, because this guy is all ball. This dude doesn't even do his fucking hair when he gets up in the morning. He just wakes up and comes to practice, bro. He
really does.
Lives football, bro. Sam be out with his girl, hair don't even be combed. I like that for a quarterback. We've seen maniacal guys come through here whose ego and their brand mattered more than what they did on the football field. Sam, even in these pictures, the whole living and shit, Sam don't even look like he not like dolled up like a lot of these dudes for these photo shoots. Sam just wake up, shake his hair a little bit, brush his teeth, and he comes into work, man. I'm excited to see Sam Howell. And tomorrow, preseason game number 1, Watson starting, Sam Howell starting. How much do you need to see from the starting group, period, both sides of the ball?
I guess it depends, like starting with Sam. I guess it really depends how the game's going. I would love to see 3 drives. Like, I feel like 2, like right now for CJ Stroud, like that was not enough. And I know he had the interception on the first drive, and the second drive, like he was getting hit a lot. So I think that's why D'Amico's like, all right, let's get this guy out. Like he was on the ground like 3 or 4 times in 2 drives. That's not good. So I feel like if it's going like that and like the offensive line looks bad, he's on the ground a lot, then yeah, like don't put him out there that much. But I would love 3 drives out of him, like good drives, not like a 3 and out and then like another short drive and like whatever. Like I want 3 like actual drives put together for Sam. But defense, like we know what that starting defense looks like. There's no one really that I need to look at. Maybe Forbes, like I want to see how he does. I mean, they said that if they're healthy, the starters for the Browns are going to play. So that means maybe Amari Cooper. I don't know if it'd be Kendall Fuller on Amari Cooper.
Oh my God, Kendall Fuller is still in the blender. Amari Cooper left him in when Cleveland came to town last year.
But Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners of all time. Like if you like listen to all these young guys that enter the draft, like Justin Jefferson, all these guys, when they talk to him at the draft, like, hey, who's the one wide receiver you watch a lot of? Like Amari Cooper, because that dude has the filthiest route running of all time. Like Amari Cooper, Antonio Brown, obviously like Megatron for like these bigger guys. When you talk about route running, Amari Cooper is him. But if not, you got Elijah Moore, you got Donovan Peoples-Jones, you got Cedric Tillman, the rookie out of Tennessee, another guy who can go deep. They have some.
Is Anthony Schwartz still there?
Oh yeah, Anthony Schwartz, David Bell, Jakeem Grant, Marquise Goodwin, another fast guy. So I mean, there's some really good wide receivers on this team. So I want to see how long Forbes plays, because he was a little nicked up in training camp a couple times. So I don't know like how long he's going to be out there, but I want to see how he does against some of these, whether it is Elijah Moore, a quick guy who's in the slot, or Donovan Peoples-Jones, who's a bigger dude on the outside. That's a big test for Forbes. A big guy like Donovan Peoples-Jones who can high point catches, those contested catches, has a big catch radius. Like that's the kind of matchups I want to see. I think he can beat an Elijah Moore shorter slot receiver guy, but what's he look like against a big dude on the outside? That's my only thing I really want to see out of the starting defense. Like I know what the defensive line looks like. I know what the secondary looks like outside of Forbes, maybe Quan Martin. But honestly, the biggest things is offensive line against a crazy Browns defensive line.
Oh my God, Myles Garrett versus Leno gives me fucking nightmares.
Dude, I'm probably not gonna sleep tonight. I don't know how long. Like Myles Garrett, first off, shouldn't play. But I think he will, which is crazy. But even like Isaiah McGuire out of Missouri, who they just drafted, a guy that I really liked.
Yep.
I wanted him so bad. Like, sorry, KJ Henry, but like Isaiah McGuire was my guy. even him against Leno like gives me worries. And I know Isaiah McGuire is a rookie, but he's so fast. Then they just signed Shelby Harris, who's likely going to start. Yep. Dalvin Tomlinson, another Alabama guy, Roll Tide. Then Zadarius Smith, who gave us nightmares over the years already. Anyways,
them boys beefy up front, man.
Dude. And they got depth with Siaki Ika out of Baylor, that giant nose tackle they got. Alex Wright, they got Okwanu. I mean, they have a lot of depth on that line. So I'm worried. Like, I think this offensive line could look really bad tomorrow. I hate to say that, but with this line, this is a great test. Like, it might not be the 49ers, but it's like a tier 2 defensive line, especially when they just add Shelby Harris and then they add Zadarius Smith this offseason. Like, that defensive line's insane.
Hell yeah, the defensive line is insane, and our offensive line definitely needs the smoke. Everybody in the chat right now, smash that like. If you're not subbed up to Josh's channel, JTFB on YouTube, my guy does very quality content, and he's buzzing right now on social media. Make sure y'all give my boy the sub. We're talking Washington versus Cleveland preseason. What are our expectations? Josh said he don't really need to see the defense. I agree. I don't need to see the defense at all. Honestly, I don't even need to see Forbes' bony ass in a preseason game, to be honest. You can save the praying mantis for week 1, to be honest, because Donovan Peoples-Jones, I don't want him getting the ball and Forbes having to make that tackle. I need Forbes.
He's a big dude. I
need Forbes making business decisions right now, because we need his 150-pound ass week 1 when the Cardinals come to town, when the games actually count. But I imagine we're going to get a series or 2 out of the defense. I want to see Chase Young's explosion, because he looks phenomenal in camp right now. He looks back, and more importantly, the body language and his mannerisms, his swag is back. His swag wasn't back last year. Like, he looked like he was favoring his knee. He looks like he's running free.
That brace was ugly.
Oh, yeah. He had the Stone Cold Steve Austin bionic knee brace on. The extra hefty knee brace.
Stone Cold would have 2 on at a time. Those knees look awful, bro.
The triple extendo RG3D brace.
Yep. Go gadget knee.
The defense, don't really need to see much out of them. Yeah. The offense, I need to see at least a quarter of football. I don't know what a quarter consists of. I think if they go out and give me like a 12-play drive and they punch it in, I'd pull them. But Sam Howell and the offensive line can definitely use the live reps. But if Myles Garrett and them are becoming too much of a headache and Sam's running for his life in a meaningless game,
that boy.
if it's looking like RG3 versus the Lions the year he got pulled for Kirk permanently, it's going to be time to pull them up out of there, man. I would like 1 scoring drive. I'll even say I'll take 3. Even if it's a field goal, 1, it'll be nice to see Joey slide.
You know he's gonna miss it. Sam's gonna have some crazy pickup on 3rd down. We're gonna be hyped. It's gonna be like the 30-yard line. He's gonna be wide left. I'm like, oh hell, come
on. See, what I'm looking for isn't like a quantity of plays. It's more of a quality. Like, I want to see what Eric Bieniemy's situational play calling looks like. What do the 3rd down plays look like? What are the play designs? Because they say no game planning goes into these preseason games, but there's definitely a little bit of game planning. Definitely.
Usually you're in like a regular game. I forgot what day it is during the week. I think it's like, maybe it's like Thursday or Friday. They script up. It's about 20 to 25 of the very first plays of the game. And like, no matter what, you run those 20 to 25 plays regardless, unless it's like you're at like 3rd and 20. Obviously, you might not go with your 3rd and short game, but like those 20 to 25 plays, like you have a set script, and it's usually done by your offensive coordinator, unless you have a head coach that strictly, runs the offense. And like, I think EB will have his plays that he's going to want to run through and like, look, situational, like, what's this look like? Like, okay, this happened. Let's switch it up. Let's go with this. You don't want to just like freestyle, especially with Sam. Like, you got to treat it like it's a real game, in my opinion, if you're Eric Bieniemy. And shout out to Dan Campbell. He has one of his assistant coaches actually being the head coach for one of the preseason games. I'm telling you, and it's not because of the comment Ron made, but I said this before Ron opened his mouth. I would love to see him do that. Whether it's the first, I wouldn't do the last game because Ron kind of needs to have that groove going into the season. Maybe the Ravens game. Let EB just be the coach of that game. Maybe even the joint practices going into that game and being the head coach for that second game. Like, I would love to see that.
Ron may not have the cachet or the confidence to let EB take that much of the reins.
That once that job's taken, like you can't miss out on it. But I mean, I think that'd be a good idea. But nonetheless, like I agree with you. I want to see how, not only because they're not going to say, "Oh, Sam Howell's going to play 3 series." Like they're not going to tell us. No coach is going to do that. But I want to see if how he's playing really sways how long he plays. Like if he does look bad, do they pull him or do they leave him out there longer? Or if he looks good and scores the first or second drive, do they go ahead and pull him out? I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that they should just keep him out there 3 like drives regardless, or if he looks bad, pull him early, or what?
I mean, a 23-year-old quarterback in his second offense in 2 years, give him as much work as possible as long as it's a safe environment for him. If the line is giving him enough enough time to operate, if he gets into a rhythm, I don't know if I'm just pulling him if he gets into a rhythm. Like if he leads us to like a touchdown drive and then a field goal drive off rip, I'm probably definitely pulling him at that point. But if he's building something and maybe drops or something or slowing the drive or penalties, I think I'm going to let him cook for a little bit. I'm going to give him a quarter or into the second quarter because he needs the work. Jacoby Brissett is a KG veteran. He started 49 games in his career. He doesn't need the work. He understands a West Coast offense. Sam Howell needs live reps, and Sam Howell looked very impressive in all the preseason outings. We can keep saying third string, but he looked the most impressive in camp and during preseason last year, and the trend is holding up this year. He looks like a starting quarterback, and the guys believe in this dude. I want to see the offense get some work. If they decide you're going to play a half of football tomorrow, I'm not mad at it at all. I'll be around my TV, popcorn ready to watch EB and Sam go to work, because some of these play designs I'm seeing EB draw up in practice, it's unlike anything we saw with Scott Turner. We're bringing that KC flair down to the East Coast. What do you have to see from the offense?
I guess you said it with like putting drives together, because there's so many times last year we're like, what are you doing? Like what play call was this? Like whether it was third long, like we knew it was going to be some kind of check down by Scott Turner. Like it was just like the same stuff over and over and over. Like he would just give up on drives. And I don't think EB's going to do that. But I'm telling you, man, I just want to see this offensive line have some kind of pulse. Do you know who are, like, I'm looking at our depth chart right now. This isn't the unofficial one. This is our lads who I use for everything, by the way. Do you know who our backup right guard is?
It's not Mason Brooks, is it? No, it's what's his name?
I've never even heard of this guy.
Who is it?
Aaron Montero.
Oh yeah, Aaron Montero. I don't know who Aaron Montero is,
bro. If Sam Cosmi gets hurt, I'm all in on the draft. If Sam Cosmi gets hurt, which he's been hurt. He's been hurt before.
Yep.
If I see Aaron Montero or whatever his name is come out on the field week 1, I'm all in on the draft, bro. I don't care what the season looks like. That is so bad. Like I want to see this offensive line go against a really good defensive line and have some kind of pulse. Because Charles Leno, Sadiq Charles, Nick Gates, Sam Cosmi, Andrew Wiley, that's probably a C if I had to grade the offensive line.
I will never believe the Sadiq Charles is actually going to start training.
Dude, there's no way. Why is he getting first-team reps, though?
I have no idea, bro.
Like, for me, it's Chris Paul or nothing. It's either Chris Paul or you go sign Dalton Reisner or Ben Jones, who wouldn't want to come here anyways. You do something. Like if you're not rolling Chris Paul as the starter, like why not? Like Sadiq Charles, he's been hurt way too much. He's already been hurt in training camp like twice. Like if you really think he's going to give you 18 weeks of a regular season, you're fooling yourself. There's no way. I haven't seen it yet. So I'd be shocked. I'd put money on it that he doesn't play, the whole season. I think Chris Paul should be the starter. And if it's not him, go sign somebody, for crying out loud. Yeah. Like Dalton Reisner would not be much money. He's out there right now. Like I think his last contract was only like $4 million. Like it wasn't that much at all. Like you can absolutely sign this guy and have money to do whatever you want still. I think we have like we have like 11.5 mil of like cap space, I think.
Yep. We got the money if we wanted to make a move, because nobody at this point is going to be an expensive free agent.
And I get it, like pay Cam Crow, whatever. It's probably going to happen at the end of the season. I don't think we pay Cam Crow right now. Just being honest, I don't think we do.
I think he gets it. He gets I think he gets an extension at some point though, because he's having a great camp too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's looked great. This is the best I think he's ever looked. So someone asked, has Sadiq Charles played in the regular season? Yeah, and he did
a little bit.
Very little bit. Was it his rookie season?
I remember he got hurt in that nasty game versus Teddy Bridgewater. He looked terrible that day, bro. Yeah. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember where I was sitting watching it. I was like, yo, Sadiq Charles is not an NFL football player.
I remember seeing him in 2 regular season games. Then something in his leg got hurt. I was like, dude, what the heck? This shirt actually got at the stadium. I have no idea if they sell it online, but it's one of my favorite shirts, honestly. Stadium actually has some really good shirts. The shop stepped their stuff up a little bit. It started rough for the rebrand, but it looked rough at first. It looked like those high school moms that be making shirts for like the schools. It was bad.
Oh yeah, that shit was super tacky, bro. We had the gas station merch, bro. The logo was
bedazzles.
We had the wish.com DH gate merch going.
I was say Chinese
the merch has come a long way in a year. Shout out to the gang. Shout out our guy President Wright, Jason Wright gang. Yep. Business side.
People hate him for no reason, man. I'm a right truther, man.
Hey, bro, it's my guy, man. If they at some point move on from him, man, I understand it comes with the territory. Joey, Jason, all those guys, I appreciate what they did for the organization and getting to know them.
The stadium, people, man. Yeah, big difference.
Oh my God, week 1 is going to be
dude. I'm about to say, if y'all aren't going week 1, I don't care like where you live. I'm coming from Texas, bro. Like I've had Austin. My tickets.
Boys coming from Austin. It's gonna be a movie out there. They said sellout is going to happen, bro.
Dude, I hope it is. I check like tickets every day just to see like how many are left. It's going down pretty quick. So definitely get some tickets if you haven't already. I'll be at the Ravens game, so like I just can't wait to be there for that. But I want to ask you about depth. Like obviously second half's gonna be just all depth guys. Who are some guys you're looking forward to, whether it's like guys who are on the bubble? Like my guy, Mitch Tinsley, I think he's one of those. He's one of those bubble guys. Like I'm pulling for him. Obviously, love Mitch. But who are some of these depth guys? Like with him and Quan Martin. Like I'm so ready to see Quan Martin, dude.
Definitely ready to see Quan, but I want to see what year 2 Percy Butler looks like because that's a name I've been hearing in camp.
He's been balling in camp.
If we could get a year 2 ascension like Derek Forrest came last year, and Percy Butler becomes more of a defender than a special teamer, then that secondary has no excuse to not be one of the better units in the league. So defensively, I'd say Percy Butler. On the offensive side, I gotta see summertime Cole Turner, man.
Summertime
Logan Turner, look, you know Cole.
He looked like he about to be on Outer Banks season 4.
Yeah, Cole, bro, that man be looking different. But Logan Thomas nursing an injury, precautionary or not, gives Cole Turner a chance to really stake his claim as TE2 and have a big role in Eric Bieniemy's offense, which certainly incorporates the tight end. I'm watching us do tight end screen, fake toss, fake reverse middle tight end screens. Cole Turner is the guy I want plays like that going to, man. So Cole Turner and Percy Butler, I got my eyes glued to him. Who are your guys?
We got preseason De'Ami Brown, who gonna look like he belongs in Canton.
Oh man.
And then he's gonna just drop stupid catches in regular season unless he gets called out by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like I said, I mean these depth wide receivers, because I don't know if they're gonna keep 6. I don't know if they're gonna keep 7. Because I mean, ideally, Antonio Gibson's gonna have more of this receiving role, so maybe he's like their flex guy. It's where they only keep 6 true wide receivers. So like I said, between like Pringle, Mitch Tinsley, Dax Milne, De'Ami Brown. I think obviously De'Ami's making the team, but like these depth receivers, I want to see what they look like because we know what the starting 3, like the front 3 look like. I'm not, needing to see anything out of Terry, Jahan, and Curtis.
Hell no.
I really want to see Mason Brooks. This is a guy like I think he has the highest upside at that guard spot, whether it is, left guard. I'm telling you guys, like, I really like his tape at Ole Miss. This is a guy I've been checking in with a bunch. He's a super cool dude. He had all the talent coming out. He just lacked a little bit of like that fundamental like play strength, like to take it to the next level. But I think size-wise, he's there. Like technique-wise, he's got everything. You put my guy Fedarian Mathis on his butt like twice in a row. Like I mean, he's shown some flashes, so I want to see what we have out of him. Maybe he could be a random, just like Andrew Wiley, undrafted free agent, turned out to be a really solid offensive lineman. Maybe Mason Brooks can turn into that. Chris Rodriguez Jr. is another dude I'm excited to see. He's had some good days in camp as well. Not really excited to see Jacoby Brissett. I mean, I've seen this guy play a lot. Jake Fromm, he is what he is. KJ Henry, he's another guy depth wise. I want to see what we got. And then Quan Martin and Percy Butler and Reeves, of course. Reeves in that secondary, he's gonna be lights out in the second half.
Oh yeah, Reeves is the summertime try-hard man of the year every year, bro.
He be hitting his own. He be hitting his own
he
last
smacks
year.
guys in OTAs, so you already know what type of time he's on when he gets in the game. My boy Chase Radar, shout out to him. He said, "What's the plan for Quan?" I would think they're using him in like the nickel and shit, but on the roster, well, it's unofficial, but they have him listed as a backup to a cornerback position on the outside. Where is Quan Martin what's his role going to be on this defense?
Well, our lads has him as the nickel backup behind St. Juice, which is what I think.
That's what
he's gonna rotate a lot. He's gonna rotate in with St. Juice in the slot. It depends on matchups, depends on situations, zone, man, whatever, big nickel, big dime. But he's also gonna be like that guy who can come in as that third safety, which I know Percy Butler did a lot of last year, but they had Cam Curl be the guy that was closer to the line, which I think they still might a little bit, but I think they really want to just leave him back there. Like Cam Bam, like BU back there in that secondary, big guy. Quan Martin's going to be the guy that can play up because he can run with the tight ends. He can be fast with these other receivers and stuff. But I think he's the guy that you play up closer to the line, not Cam, because I want him to stay back there. But he's going to rotate a bunch. But I'm telling you guys, people are like, why do we take this guy in the second if he's just going to be like a backup? He's not going to be a backup, though. Like, I love St. Juice. Can he stay healthy? I don't know. He showed a lot of really good flashes. But I think him and Quan Martin are going to have really close at the end of the season if they stay healthy, like the same amount of snaps. Like, it's going to be close. They're just going to rotate him a bunch. But like, people don't realize we don't just have some like set defense that we just roll out all the time. We rotate 5-2 with 5 guys on the line and 2 linebackers, or sometimes we'll have 4 on the line and we'll have 3 corners with a nickel, or we'll have we do a lot of 3 safety sets, and it's usually Forrest, Cam, and like I said, Percy Butler, but Cam's usually the guy that's up, and they move Percy to free safety, and then Derek Forrest is always over at that strong safety, so they just rotate him around. But I think that's when Quan Martin comes in as that big guy. So maybe Percy Butler is like the odd guy out in the rotations, but I still think that he has a spot. He did show some growing pains last year, but he's looked really good in camp. So I think he's taking a big step. And Ron's pointed him out himself, too. Like, he's like, oh, yeah, Percy Butler's a guy that's taking strides. Like, we notice what he's doing right now. But this secondary's filthy, dude. They don't have the crazy names. Like, not a lot of people know that Cam Curl was the highest graded safety last season, and that him and Forrest were the highest graded safety duo by PFF. Like, people don't know who they are. But I'm telling you, man, like, and people sleep on Kendall. Even our own sleep on Kendall Fuller. He was one of the top corners last year. Like, he looked really good compared to what we saw in a few years before that. So, dude, I'm just saying this secondary is about to be nasty. We just needed more turnovers, and that's why they went and got this top 2.
Yep.
Because look how we won. Look how we beat the Eagles last year. Turnovers, and we ran the ball down their throat.
Control. Yep.
Yeah, and then just average quarterback play. Like, we're not going to ask Sam to throw 400 yards to win us games. It's going to be like 250 and 50 rushing yards and like a touchdown or 2. Like, and then Brian Robinson's just going to run people over. Like, we want to control the game and just beat people down.
Hell yeah. And we managed to be like a top 5 total defense without generating turnovers. So just imagine what we could be if we start flipping the field.
And Chase is back.
Yeah, and Chase is on his way back. My guy Abel said, who could be a sleeper player that no one talks about that could have a good preseason, like Torrey McTyer? Great pull, Torrey McTyer. I hate that he got hurt because he had a preseason for the ages. You know, we get August legends when these preseason games. The Marcus Masons, Marco Mitchells of the world. Who are those guys on this year's roster? I feel like I know where Josh is going with this one.
I want to stay away from a wide receiver because that's the easy ones.
It's very easy.
I'm gonna pick a surprise. I'm gonna say KJ Henry. Because I think he is good off the edge. I think he's going to play a majority of the second half, so I think you'll see him against backups anyways. But I think I'm going to go against the grain of picking like Byron Mitchell or Marcus Kemp or one of these wide receivers that's just going to flash against a bunch of practice squad DBs. But I think KJ Henry surprises a lot of people. He's going to be out there with guys like F.A. Obata. So it's going to be a good line. Casey Tuhill is going to be out there. Maybe some John Ridgeway. Like, it's going to be a solid line when he's out there. So I think you're going to see some opportunities for a lot of these guys on the D line. Maybe Kendall Smith is another safety, like a super, undrafted free agent of ours that I think has a lot of really good talent. Another guy that played on that Illinois secondary with Quan Martin. Maybe Wild Goose has a couple good plays.
Oh, God. I still think like whoever that fan is that keeps showing up to practice with a Wild Goose jersey,
dude,
if you're not family, if they're not family, bless your heart, bro.
I guess they like the name or something, dude. Which I get it.
Goose jersey, that's nasty.
That is a legendary name, Wild Goose.
It is. The name is phenomenal. The player is not. It is. But I guess if I had to pick one, I guess I gotta pick a receiver. I would Casimir Allen. Like we heard a lot about him in the spring, but
he's so small.
Summer, he's tiny.
That boy gonna be Darren Sproles the second.
Hey, he's twitchy though. There's something to him. I want to see how they use him because these preseason games is a very good time for them to show coaches I belong on this roster. Or if I don't make the roster, I better be the first one called up off the practice squad. Because they seem to have a role for him. What do you think?
I agree with you. I'm just pissed off right now because the Texans just got a fourth down stop and D'Amico Ryans is hype. His team loves him. I love D'Amico Ryans. It pisses me off. It pisses me off that we don't have him as a head coach. I love D'Amico Ryans. But yeah, I mean, the thing with Casimir, they're like, I don't know what he does for you in the receiving game. Like, I get it, like kick returns and stuff like that. He's shifty, he's quick. Yeah, but I don't know what he's gonna do for you in the receiving game. They're like, I just haven't seen enough out of him. Like when I have seen him flash, it's like these short like throws where he's like, after the catch, like yak. His yak ability is ridiculous, which is fine. But like if he's limited to that, like I think it's gonna hurt his chances of making the team. Like maybe he goes practice squad or something. That's why I do like my guy Mitch, because he's really good hands. He's a great blocker, and he's been working in the special teams. Like, we need well-rounded guys. Same with, like, Byron Pringle. He can do it all. I think Marcus Kemp can. Kyrick McGowan somewhat. Bryson Tremaine showed some good stuff. But, like, it's just, if you're limited to, like, one thing, you're not going to make the team. Which is, like, what I think could hurt Casimir. Like, could he be a good returner? Yes. But is that it? Like,
if he's a one-trick pony, it's like why go away from what we know in Dax Milne? I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. Dax Milne's on the roster, bro.
I guess, man.
Dax Milne gonna be on that roster.
Hey,
as long
cheers
as
to him, man. He got the highlights in his hair. He knows he's got a spot.
Hey, Troy Apke and freaking Dax Milne have a spot on this roster as long as Ronald Eugene is our head coach, bro, because he's loyal to a fault when it comes to his guys. But lastly, on this preseason game, and then I'll ask you a couple more things. We can get out of here. We don't got to treat this like it's a regular season game preview. Let's make some predictions, even though predictions are stupid for a preseason game. Give me 3 predictions from the game tomorrow, and I'll go as well.
Oh man, should it be bold or should it be realistic?
3. I don't care. Give me 2. Give me 2 normal ones and a spicy one.
All right, 2 good ones. Man, I think Chase Young has a sack tomorrow.
Woo!
Which is kind of my spicy one. I was gonna say that for a spicy one.
Let's go.
But I got a spicier one. I think Sam. I think he has 3 drives. I think he goes 5-4-8 for 65 yards, maybe a touchdown. I'm not expecting him to score. Like, I don't want people to go into this like, oh, I need Sam to have 100 yards and like a scoring drive. Like, yes, but if you like watch these preseason games, he's not going to be out there. I don't think he's going to be out there more than 3 drives.
I don't think so.
But I think the offense looks competent. I think it's well balanced with the run game and the passing game. And then like a spicy take, I think Terry has a deep touchdown.
Okay.
I think Terry has a possibility of
so you made all yours about the starters. That sound like they're gonna get a little bit more time than we both expect. Okay.
No, it's only one of them's gonna happen. But all right, how about this? I think Quan Martin has an interception.
Ooh.
I truly think he does too. But DTR, like we didn't talk about the Browns' depth. Yo, if you watch that Browns versus Jets game, DTR is that dude.
Sucks. Kellen Mond is ass. Somebody better pick Kellen Mond off.
Yeah. He better not even play. Josh, he's 4th on the depth chart right now. But DTR looked like that guy. And remember, we brought him in the last week before the draft for like a private workout.
Take a quarterback lay. I like DTR, man.
He's like that. So like the depth of the defense is for sure going to have a good test because DTR made that Jets defense look terrible in that Hall of Fame game. He's nice. But yeah, I think Quan Martin gets an interception.
Hell yeah. Okay, so mine is going to be number 1. The offense will not score a touchdown, but they will put a couple drives together. They'll get like a field goal, they'll punt, and they'll drive. Something will happen, they'll punt it again. Realistic take.
You talking about starters or the whole
starting offense? Like they'll put together a field goal.
The whole team.
No. That would be fun. That would look horrible for EB coming off the comments Ron made this week. But I think starting offense puts together a field goal drive, a drive of nothing, and a drive that goes somewhere and then stalls out. But we'll see enough things. We'll see enough things to be like, all right, Sam working with something, and I like what's happening here. Defensively, someone's taking a pick to the crib if Kellen Mond touches that field tomorrow, bro. Kellen Mond throws a football like he's throwing a fucking javelin, bro. Like
he's never good.
That shit, he holds the ball next to his ear. I hate it so much, but okay. Who's getting the pick 6? Cody Barton, pick 6 off of whatever the second quarterback that comes in tomorrow. It's not gonna be off Watson. Cody Barton, pick 6. For some reason, Barton's in longer than he needs to be because he's the mic, and then they're trying to work him into the system. Cody Barton, pick 6.
That'd be nice. That'd be huge for the linebacker room sucks team.
Like, spicy one. Byron Pringle. No. No. We're not going Byron Pringle. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Now. I need something spicy to end this joke.
He pulled back the spicy.
I pulled it. Oh, Chris Rodriguez, 50-yard touchdown tomorrow, either receiving or rushing. He's going to either take a screen or take some shit to the crib on the third string.
He's going to run somebody over. That's what he's going to do.
Hell yeah. Big beefy. Yeah.
That boy's a tractor.
Last question before we go.
Okay.
Who do you think bitched about EB to Ron?
If I had to pick one, oh hell, one person, David Mayo,
a defender. You think it was a defensive guy? You trying to take the diplomat? He ain't trying to throw nobody on the offense under the bus. Who do you think bitched to Ron about EB? It had to be an offensive player or two.
It's not one of his former guys. It had to be like Diami or Dax or Tyler Larson.
I feel like it's a lineman and a skill player. I feel like it gotta be one of both. Like a lineman.
All right, final answer: Jonathan Williams and Dax Milne.
I feel like it was Sadiq Charles and Chris Rodriguez, bro. Chris Rodriguez was winded as shit through OTAs.
You can't be talking like that
practices, bro. That man was on that joint huffing and puffing and wheezing like a motherfucker.
It was hot. I would have been too, though. It was way too hot out there.
But yeah, I don't care about the win or the loss. I'm excited to see football being played, and I'm sure we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We're recapping the game on your channel Saturday at what time?
I always get the times mixed up because I'm Central Time.
I think it was 8. I think it was 7 or 8.
7 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Central Time. Unless you want to move it to 8, we can do 8 o'clock. It don't matter.
Hey, 7 p.m. Eastern works for me. The earlier, the better. We can knock that out.
7 p.m. Eastern Time on my channel, and I'll be on the Bleacher Report app immediately after the game, talking about Sam, some of the rookies, not everything. I'm gonna say a lot for our live channel where we can act up. But download the Bleacher Report app for sure. That chat is always jumping when I go live with Bleacher Report. So hop on over after the game and we'll talk about it. I'm sure they'll have some good and some bad to talk about, man.
Oh yeah, there's some good, some bad, some ugly, and some Washington shit as there and always is. Definitely some Ron. Appreciate everybody that tuned in to tonight's game preview. I'll be back on camera sometime next week. Your boy's still recovering. The eyes are struggling over this part. Appreciate you, my boy, for coming on.
Yes,
let them know. Let them know that those who don't know already, let them know where they can find you before we get out of here.
Yep, you see my Twitter there, wherever it is, at Josh Taylor FB, and then like Rio said, the YouTube channel is at JTFB. So just shorten it up a little bit. And we'll be going live, chopping it up Saturday night, talking about it. I'm excited, man. I am nervous though. I told you before we started. I am nervous because I know how this fan base can be.
Yeah, they're rabid, man. Hal come out and throw a pick. All hell is going to fucking break loose on Washington Twitter or Washington X.
Caleb Williams edits will be flying.
Oh yeah, no one get a jersey swap out faster than Washington fans, man. It's gonna be wild on Washington X. Like I'm still calling it Twitter, bro. Like it's still Twitter to me because X is too one syllable and boring for me. But that's all we got for right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Until next time, Commander Rio and Josh out.